135-pound fighters. First, fighting out of the Farmers Insurance Thomas Swenson Red Corner. From Train, Fight, Win in Denver, Colorado. Please make welcome the lead, the Pit Bull Gonzales. And now, fighting out of the last Cop Tower Blue Corner. From the UFC gym in Westminster, Colorado. Please make welcome Michael Debaca. MMA battles scheduled for 3-minute rounds. Referees Curtis Thrasher.
Fight fans, welcome to the Grizzly Rose. My name is J.R. Gordon, joined by Ron Goldstein. This afternoon we have a number of professional kickboxing fights, a pro MMA fight, and a bunch of action in the amateur division with 11 newcomers to the fight card. Our first fight of the night is in the 135-pound division. We have Michael Debaca wearing the white trunks, facing David Gonzales in the red trunks. Both guys looking to throw hard punches early, Ron.
Yeah, you can always tell newcomers when they kind of get in there, JR, and you can see how a little bit nervous and tense they are. But we've got Michael Debaca looking to put it on Mr. Gonzales right now, but Mr. Gonzales gets himself out of trouble. Looks like he's bleeding already, though.
Yeah, nice job working his way back to his feet by Gonzales, and he's going for the trip takedown. Debaca, good job planting his feet, being solid in there. Wasn't even close on that takedown. And now Debaca jamming his opponent up against the cage and looking to change levels.
A la Joe Warren last night in Bellator.
Congratulations, Mr. Warren. And to the ground we go with Debaca on top. Immediately I see Gonzales looking for a butterfly sweep.
Yep.
So Gonzales looking pretty comfortable on the ground, but he's definitely not in the position that he would prefer.
You know, we're seeing Debaca doing a nice job of keeping a nice, steady pressure on him, getting Gonzales against the cage, really, where he won't be able to move very well. And at that point, once he is pinned up against that cage, let's look for Mr. Debaca to lay down the lumber from the top position.
Yeah, Gonzales doing a nice job with his feet, keeping feet on hips or butterfly guard, trying to control a little bit of what it is that the Debaca is able to do, and he has kept him from closing in until right now where Debaca is finally a little bit closer where he wants to be.
And I like what I'm seeing out of Debaca, keeping that head pressure right on the chin and jawline of Gonzales, and he's looking to just pin him against that cage and create some openings to where he can unleash those hands.
And Debaca doing a nice job of keeping his chest close but pulling his arms back, and that shuts down some of the offensive attacks that Gonzales would have off of his back.
And that's exactly what I was just going to say, too. Exactly right. And here's that pressure that we expected, and a nice jump to the side for Debaca, getting himself out of trouble, but Gonzales doing a nice job of getting himself out of trouble and standing up and getting off the cage.
Yeah, good job threatening with the guillotine. Basically, once he'd skipped to the side, it was only head control, but that allowed us to come back to standing.
I wonder if the jitters are getting to these guys right now, JR.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're both in good condition. I don't see anybody with an open mouth or looking too bad, so obviously speaks to the training these guys are getting. And speaking of that, we have Debaca out of the UFC Westminster gym and the Train Fight Win gym being represented by Mr. Gonzales.
And Debaca did a nice job of finishing that round with an inside leg kick that seemed to knock Gonzales off base and off balance. But nice job of Mr. Gonzales recovering. And both these fighters ended the first round very well. We are here at SCL Chaos in Denver, Colorado at the Grizzly Rose. Wonderful event. Everybody's looking and feeling good here today. Crowd is filing in. JR, if you are in
And here we go, round number 2. Debaca in the white, Gonzales in the red. Couple of newcomers to the cage. And referee Curtis Thrasher calls him to the center for a little punchy-kicky time. And kicky it is.
You need to trademark that.
Head kick flashed up by Gonzales. Debaca had his cover in place, though.
I actually like the way Debaca's moving his head.
And Debaca very, very calm. Gonzales trying to mix up his game, threatening with takedowns, threatening with head kicks. Debaca nonplussed by the whole situation.
Yeah, no, exactly right. And I tell you, I like when Gonzales gets up. He seems to get up when he hits the mat quickly.
Yeah, that's been a little bit telling in the fact that Debaca has not been able to hold him down.
Yes. Nice fireman's carry.
Nicely done. And Gonzales on his back one more time. Open guard. I like the open guard of Gonzales. He's not just waiting for something to happen. He's looking to pivot his hips right now. He's trying to trap an arm. We've seen him go for a couple of sweeps, threaten with head control. Gonzales very active off of his back.
Very active off his back. And kudos to Mr. Debaca for a fantastic fireman's carry off the cage. When do you see that?
See if Debaca is able to effect a little more solid ground and pound here in the second round than he was in the first. Every time it hit the mat, he was the one that was in control of position, but he really didn't get off with a lot of damaging strikes.
Right.
And now looking to pass, so he wants to improve that position. But Gonzales, obviously just a big threat off of his back, so Debaca has to be real careful in what he does here.
Looks like Debaca's looking to lock up a side choke, but he's got to jump to the right side to be able to finish that in any way. But Gonzales, again, doing a nice job of evading trouble.
About a minute left here in the second of three 3-minute rounds. And one more time, Debaca working to jam Gonzales into the cage, able to do so, but we've seen Gonzales get himself out of trouble from here more than once.
And you can hear in the crowd, I just heard heavy hips behind us, and that's exactly what Debaca's been doing. Staying very, very heavy in that top position and really not allowing Gonzales to do much in terms of getting off any kind of offense from the back, or from the bottom, sorry.
Gonzales trying to set up a butterfly scissor sweep. You saw him drop one leg down, trying to kick the leg toward the middle and elevate with the other side, but there was those heavy hips that the crowd was calling for.
Yeah, exactly right.
10-second clacker sounded. We're going to be back with the third.
Third and final round just about underway here as the cleanup crew exits the cage. Referee Curtis Thrasher getting these guys ready for the third and final round. JR, what do you tell Mr. Gonzales if you're in his corner?
He's got to be a little more offensive on the feet. He was throwing some head kicks early in round number 2, but no real combinations. Debaca had his guard in place, so he knows that's probably not going to work without trying to set it up. And if it gets to the mat, don't be content to be on your back. Try to get that sweep. Try to take top position.
Yeah, I agree. And if I'm in Debaca's corner, I'm actually telling him to keep this fight long. Utilize those inside leg kicks that have been working beautifully, and try to capitalize with something like an uppercut or a knee or something like that, because Mr. Gonzales is crouched over and pretty much right on the center line. Oh, and it's on now.
Now they're going toe-to-toe, much to the crowd's delight. A few moments of my chin is tougher than yours.
Yeah, and Debaca doing a nice job of throwing that jab out.
Debaca going for that outside trip, scores it well, lands into side control. He tried to work to pass the guard of Gonzales earlier, wasn't able to do so. So let's see what he's going to do from side control here, because that's where he was trying to go.
I tell you, and the wrestling game for Debaca has really been one of the key pivots of this match here. He's been able to utilize several throws and really control this match with his wrestling.
Yeah, really helping him control position. I'd like to see him open up a little bit more with the ground and pound.
Yeah.
Try to land some damaging strikes. He's been busy enough that the referee hasn't had to stand it up, but nothing that's anywhere near fight ending.
Right, exactly right. Establishing a nice, good, heavy top game again, but Gonzales doing a nice job of keeping Debaca in his guard here.
Yeah, and this is not what Debaca wanted. It's been shown that he's not able to pass that guard, and that Gonzales can get himself up off the floor from this position. So Debaca had the position that he'd worked so hard for, and then Gonzales, good job of turning it back into, well, I don't quite want to say his favor, but back where he's in a better spot than he was.
Yeah, totally.
And the corner of Debaca is shouting, keep those arms in. They don't want him get a limb out there
like that,
flailing by itself where it can be trapped and isolated.
That's right. And that's what Gonzales is hoping for right now. I mean, he is literally hoping for a last-minute submission here.
And there's some heavy ground and pound. Couple of those landing for Debaca. Best strikes of the fight for Mr. Debaca there, but like we talked about, that provides the opening that Gonzales needs. He's going for the armbar triangle combination here. 10-second clacker sounded. I think Debaca is going to be able to ride this out. And there it is. We'll take it to the judges.
Nice first fight.
After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Mike Prince. Shot in the cage with Michael. Michael, take me through that fight, man. Pretty dominant performance for you.
Thank you, yeah, that's great. Thank you. I want to thank everybody that came out for me to support me. The whole fight, I just honestly just stuck to my game plan with my coach. We had a good game plan coming in. That's about it. I'm back to talk with. So I look forward to keep going.
We look forward to seeing you in some more of these fights, some more people you want to thank.